Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my easy cooking channel tonight. I still haven't sold my house, so my kitchen is still in a state of disarray. I don't even know where my pots and pans are. They're all packed away someplace else. But I am going to do a cooking video tonight. I have some ingredients lined up here, and I have my trusty dehydrator over there. And so what I want to say tonight is, good morning, Vietnam! And why am I saying good morning, Vietnam? Because tonight I'm going to use my take. I'm going to use my recipe. I'm going to show you my take on something called Thit Bo, or Vietnamese beef jerky, or Co Bo. Okay, it's wonderful. It has all the flavors of Southeast Asia. A little bit different from the Thai chili lime that I did, but it's flavorful, it's colorful, it's easy to make, and it's delicious. So as usual with YouTube, almost forever minutes. Let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. First things first, what I want to make for the Thit Bo, or Vietnamese beef jerky, is the cure. And it's going to cure in the dehydrator. First thing I'm going to add is some garlic. To that, we're going to add some really well minced lemongrass. Brown sugar. About 4 tablespoons for about 2 pounds of meat or so. If you want a little sweeter than I do, you can do 5. Okay? And believe me, it's all going to blend together. Now, the recipe calls for salt. I don't want to use regular table salt. For the salt layer, I'm going to use fish sauce. Okay? Enough for about 3 teaspoons. That's about 3 teaspoons right there. I'm going to use that instead of regular salt because fish sauce is quite prevalent in Vietnamese cooking as well. And then we're going to have some 5 spice. Chinese 5 spice. This stuff is strong, so you don't have to use a whole lot of it. All these flavors are going to marry. Okay. Now, some people like to use turmeric in their Vietnamese beef jerky. I don't. I think turmeric's rather plain for this recipe. So I like to use curry powder. And I'm just going to be using a mild Asian yellow curry powder. About 2 teaspoons. Not a whole heck of a lot. You know, just let it all get together. A little bit of black pepper. About 2 teaspoons, 1.5 teaspoons. Really not a whole heck of a lot. Some sesame oil. Enough to get this stuff rolling. About 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. And a little bit of oyster sauce. Nice thick oyster sauce. About 1 or 2 tablespoons. If you can get it out of the, there we go. If you can get it out of the bottle. And last but not least, your desired amount of red hot chili flake. Yeah. That's about 1.5 tablespoons right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix all these ingredients together. The fish sauce, the oil, and the oyster sauce will help break down the powdered ingredients. This is going to be nice and thick. If I have to add a little more sesame oil or fish sauce to get this to the consistency I want, I will. But I'm going to continue mixing this until I have it to the consistency and blend that I want. And I'll be right back. Also, I might add that as an additional ingredient, I'm going to add some lime juice, some acid. That'll help break down some of the fats, help in the preserving. Plus the lime juice goes fantastic with all these other flavors. So this sauce, this cure, is mixed to a satisfactory consistency. I'm going to let it sit out here on the counter for about 15 to 20 minutes and let the flavors marry. I need to go cut about 2 pounds of rump roast with the grain, and then we're going to come out, coat some up, and then put it in the fridge for about 4 hours to marinate, and then we're going to be drying some meat. We are back. All right. What we're doing here is I have about 2.5 pounds of rump roast, okay, cut along the grain, okay. The slices were so thick, I had to cut the slices in half to make strips because they were humongous. You cut your rump roast along with the grain, okay. You cut it along with the grain in slices anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick, depending on how much chew. This is a rather thick piece, about 1/4, and what we do is we just dip the meat into the cure. That's all. Simple as that. Dip the meat into the cure. Meat goes on the plate. This is a thin piece. This is about 1/8. All right? The cure sticks to it pretty good. Dip it in the cure. Put it on the plate. Now I'm going to continue doing this until all the slices have been coated. I'm going to put these slices in the refrigerator for about 4 hours to marinate. Then it's going to be time to put it in the dehydrator, and I'll kick back and I'll watch a movie for a while. And then we're going to have some Vietnamese beef jerky. Good umami. A little bit of hot, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salt, a little bit of savory. It's going to be delicious. Look at the size of these strips. Okay. This is a beef jerky party. I can't wait. I can't wait. Smells so good already. I feel like cutting some of this up into carpaccio. I know that I've been giving Riley, my dog, a little bit of raw meat lately. First time in the 5 or so years that I've had him. And I gave him some last night, and I could have sworn after he swallowed it, he looked up at me and smiled and said, "Oh yeah." Never tell it dogs. So as I say, I'm going to continue with this marinade, and then we'll be back. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Marinated Vietnamese beef jerky, Richard Blaine's way. Now, I'm going to put some plastic over this here puppy, and this plate of meat is going to go into the refrigerator, minimum of 4 hours, and then we're going to start putting it on the dehydrator. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, here we go. It's been 4 hours. Actually, it's been about 4.5, and I'm going to start laying some of this Vietnamese beef jerky onto the dehydration tray. Nice and gentle. Don't crowd. Leave some room in between. There's going to be some particulate matter that's going to fall. That's why you have to clean these puppies every now and again. There we go. I'm telling you, this stuff looks good raw. All right. Don't crowd. Just a few pieces per deck. Get this over here. This over here. So some of these slices are rather thick. Some are rather thin, so they're going to have different drying times, and that's why we'll end up moving things around in here. Another level. Another piece of beef. There we go. I can't wait. This is making me hungry already. This particular kind of beef jerky, we don't want to dry out and make it super dry. We want it to be pliable. We want it to be a little bit pink on the inside, bendable. And that's what I'm aiming for. It works great with the thicker slices. Sometimes the thinner slices come out a little bit too dry. Doesn't mean that they're not good though, because they are. There we go. Now, I set my dehydrator at 160. put the lid on, turn it on, and I'll see you guys in about 2 hours. Alright guys, it's been actually about 3 hours, and what we're going to do now is one of the most important things whenever dehydrating beef jerky or any kind of jerky. We're going to rotate the jerky. You don't see a lot of people doing this. They just throw the meat into the dehydrator and they let the dehydrator go. But when you want uniform drying, okay, you need to turn the meat over on the trays and then rotate the top tray to the bottom and the bottom tray to the top. And that's what we're going to do right now. So it's been about 3 hours and the meat is starting to firm up, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn the jerky over. All right. This is the top shelf, and we're going to turn the meat over, and then we're going to remove the top shelf and we're going to turn the meat over. And what's going to happen, and you don't see a lot of people doing this, unfortunately you don't see a lot of people doing this, what is going to happen is that the previous top layer will now become the bottom layer, and the bottom layer will become the top layer. This is one of the secrets of really good jerky making, okay, is rotating the trays and turning the meat over. So that's what we're doing here. If you can see, oh my God, look at this. If you can see the color of this meat, the richness, look at that. It's getting redder and redder. All right. This is some plain jerky. In fact, it's almost done. These are thin cuts. I like to have some thin cuts. Excuse me. Now, everything has been rotated. Everything has been rotated. Now, the lid goes back on. 160 degrees for about another 2 to 3 hours, and we're gonna have some Vietnamese beef jerky, and I'll see you in a while. Okay guys, there you go. Look at this lovely beef jerky. Oh my God. This is still cooling. Okay. They took it out, it's done. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the nice, deep, dark, rich color. Look at the crust. Look at the crust. Oh my God. Look at the ingredients on top. Look at that. Oh my God. This is just delicious. So, this is cooling, and I'm going to take it to work, and I'm going to be snacking on this all week. But look at the darkness, the richness from the sugar, from the curry, from the 5-spice, okay, from all the spices that I dipped this in. Look at it. Look at that bark. Oh, look at that bark. Look at that darkness. Spicy, sweet, salty, just delicious. I want to thank you for stopping by tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a short one, and I'll see you on the next video. I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Hey guys, Richard Blaine here, Mr. Easy Cooking. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. I'm sorry it's a short video and kind of a tacky video, but like I said, I'm not set up. My house is just a wreck. I'm trying to sell my house. It's just a wreck. But I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you for watching this video on how to make Vietnamese style beef jerky. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you make the recipe. The recipe will be listed in my description box. So I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.